Hey, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, and I cut this roughly 2 or 3 inch base out of a piece of game board, and I have a plastic horse here, and I have a hot glue gun. I need to make a custom enemy for a stop at off of a train fight tomorrow, and what I want to do is I want to make something that's kind of not memorable but exciting at the time. So let's start with a little bit of a lump of something to use as like the base of the body. Let's round it off. Let's twist it a little bit. So if you know anything about my recent series, the players have to deal with something all the time called Element X now. Element X is this terrible serum made of the blood of a bunch of monsters, of undead and vampires and such, that brings people back to life, merges living people to dead people, makes animals and people combine. It's just a horrible, horrible substance. So let's get this going. Kind of let that fall down and connect where it does. And we'll let that sit for a moment, and let's look at what pieces from this horse we can steal. So let's get that head. We can definitely use that. And we'll snip the reins off of it. I'm going to get a smaller knife to cut that. It'll be easier than messing with that stimpers. We don't need to cut it all the way off. We just need to make it so it's not a big chunky thing. And we'll cut that off the base there, the neck. Oh, pardon me. And I'm not too worried about that on the neck because we can cover that up pretty easily. Let's steal a leg or two. These will be useful. They're flat on the inside, which I don't like, but maybe we can somehow make that work to our advantage. And we'll steal that tail for sure. I don't think we need anything out there. Throw it in my parts box. Let's see what's in our parts box to use. Alright, here's an arm. It's kind of a giant-sized arm. And there's another arm. It's a little gimpy. We'll steal that. Can we get this guy's head? Just digging through my parts box, ripping people apart to get things I want. Looking for maybe another head or a different head. There's kind of a big woman head. Okay. And let's see. Got this lady. Can her head come off? I'm sure it can with the right amount of persuasion. Give me your head, lady. Okay. Now this should be starting to cool. Let's see what we can do here. Can we get this on here? We can. And let's just get some glue. Let's get this arm on here. I hope it moves down from there some. Oh, who's calling me? Oh, it's work. It's all right. They'll be okay for a little bit without me. All right, let's try to make these legs work in the build somehow. I think the easiest way to do that would be to have them kind of stuck in the goo down here and flat on the base. Let me get some more glue. We want these to be kind of a disgusting mess if we can. And if we can't, that'll be all right too. All right, let's get these extra heads we have. Let's flatten this up. It never works the way I want it to, ever. Okay, and the tail. Not sure how I want the tail to go. All right. Now, we have a lot of spider webs to deal with, and we don't want to be on this project all day. So let's get rid of that. Let that sit for a second, everything cool in place, just like how it is. And let's get some Mod Podge. Oh, there's a piece of metal in there. And a color to mix it with so we can see what we're doing. Okay, that'll give us good coverage. I'm gonna wipe this off real quick. I'm gonna get a wet brush. Stir this up. And the main thing is you want to get it where glue is mostly. If you don't get it everywhere, that's okay, but it's got to go where the glue is. Okay. Now, get a lighter or a blowtorch or something. Okay. Let's get a little bit more of that mix. Go back around and just kind of bubble things up a little more. Okay. You see those bubbles are pretty disgusting. Can't see the damn camera. There we go. But those bubbles really do look gross and nasty. See if we can get one up close so you can see how it works. See how it just kind of bubbles? Now if it's not wet, it'll just melt the glue. So you got to have the bubbles, the water there to make it bubble. See that? And then it adds an interesting kind of pocked flesh, mutated look. Okay. All right. Now we're going to air dry this real quick. Let's get that. Let's throw a different color paint in there. Here's a dark brown. And let's give this guy some kind of a base coat that we can dry quickly, hopefully quickly, using our hot air gun, because all the hot plastic and everything is going to move around until it cools. So hopefully we can cool it like this. I think that's most of it covered with a decent base coat. Okay. Let's put my junk box away. Grab a piece of cardboard. Hold on, there's a little bit of wet right there. It's a little bit more wet than we can deal with. A little bit of wet's okay. Too much ain't good. Let's get a dry makeup brush. Some white. Okay, that's a lot of white, more than I needed, for sure. Okay, this is probably not the right brush for the job either. No, not the right brush at all. Can't get in the cracks well. It's just really repainting this thing white, which is not what I wanted to do. That's okay though. Okay, now let's try it with the air gun real quick. Let's get a fleshy color. I'm going to use a disgusting pink. I'm going to start with a disgusting pink anyways. Yeah, I have way more paint on my brush than I wanted, so it's not doing exactly what I wanted either. Okay. Once you get it pretty much covered, hit it with the air gun again. going to get peach and khaki. And a smaller brush that I have more control with. And I'm going to make a kind of a flesh tone that works. I'm going to drag it around and hit some spots. And this is going to create a little bit of a variation in undertone, but it won't be a mega drastic. Then I'm going to get a little bit more of that khaki. And I'm going to really dry my brush off. Take a lot of that paint off. And then I'm going to hit some more of it with that. Change it up a little bit more. Okay. Something like that. Alright, there's some spots that I definitely want to darken up, but before I do that, let's get this black wash. It's a dark brown wash, actually. Medium to dark. I don't even know what color it is. Let's get that. Stir it up. Nice. And this is going to find all the cucky spots, the pocks and disgusting areas that we burned. It's going to find them very easily. Now let's get... Sorry, I'm trying to do this in one video because I don't want it to be an all-day thing. Alright, so everything's looking pretty gross. Let's hit it with the hot air gun. Alright, getting a smallish brush, grabbing my cardboard. I'm getting my deep brown from the Dollar Tree. Oop. And let's do the base with that. For that kind of painted desert look I've been trying to stick with. And if there's anything wet down here, or if you get it on the model at all, that's okay. See how I'm getting a little bit in the model there? It's alright. Won't hurt anything. Getting a little bit of that khaki in that. Give that painted desert kind of look. Okay. Alright. Gonna get some peach. Do a little cleanup work where I got it on the model some. Okay. I'm not going to go into super detail fixing that. Alright, sweet. Set that off to the side. Alright, we need to make our own new little kind of concoction in a minute here, but let's get some of this dried up. It's pretty dry. It's not perfect. I'm going to get my brush. I'm going to get a little bit more of that peach. I have a couple spots I want to touch up real quick. Just wiping some of the crap off of my brush. I do want to touch that up there a little bit. I don't care how perfect I get that. Let's dry it again. Cool, cool, cool. You can use whatever you have. I'm going to use some of this speed paint. You can make washes or whatever you got. Oil, anything will work. I'm going to do a couple things real quick, though. And really, at this point, it's pretty gross. You could do some pink and some red, and you could stop. But I want to do some of the hairs. So I'm going to do this dark wood first. I'm going to do the tail and the mane on that guy, and maybe some of the hair on the people if I can get to it. So I'm going to do my tail with this. And I'm not worried about the undercoat. Okay. Got to watch one of my favorite movies of all time today, Major League. I say watch, but it was more of a listen to. But either way, got to listen to one of my favorite movies of all time. Okay. Ready to hit that with the air gun? We're almost done here. Now I'm going to use a, what color do I want to use? I'm going to use soft tone. That's a lot of soft tone. More than I intended, for damn sure. Let me get a bigger brush then. With a lot of soft tone comes a lot of responsibility, man. You know what I'm saying, buddy? Okay. And you just want to kind of get it where you can. That initial wash darkened things up pretty nice. So it gave more detail than you really even needed at this point, I think. Maybe this was unnecessary. Okay. Now I want it to be a little gross in some spots. I'm going to get Slaughter Red. And I have a pink here called Familiar Pink. I don't know how good the Familiar Pink is. I used it once before and I didn't like the results. And I'm going to mix a little bit of medium with that pink. Okay. So, using a regular brush, I'm going to get that pink. I'm going to stir that up. And I'm going to dab that around in some areas where I think it needs it to kind of grossen up what we got here. Some of these deeper recesses, some musculature, some spots where things just pulled a little too intensely. And that's just going to give us a little variation in color here and there, but nothing too tremendous that's going to destroy the paint job. I'm going to clean that brush out. That's really not necessary, I suppose. I'm going to get that Slaughter Red, and I'm going to really hit some spots and let it kind of run down. Anywhere there might be connecting pieces where something burst through, or if you feel like there's an orifice there, just kind of get that in. Something like that should be good enough. Last but not least, dry off your brush a little bit. Get you a brown color and do the reins. If there's clothing on any of your body parts that you want to cover up, this would be a good time to do that too. Okay. I'm going to get that, mix that with that. And I'm going to do the sleeve in this color. Now, last but not least, this should be my final step. I'm going to get this dark, whatever I have left here, and I'm going to do the hooves of that. All right, on light, let's hot air gun it. I don't know what to call this thing. Essentially, it was a group of people and horses that were riding near the train, and they threw a batch of this Element X on it. And then bad things ensued. They turned into this creature, and they couldn't keep up with the train anymore. But now they're blocking the tracks for the next train, and the party has to deal with that madness. So this is going to be called the horse horror, maybe? I don't know. Equestrian horror? I don't know. Some kind of horror. Some kind of unhorse deal. But thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon. Leave a comment if you could. That'd be swell. I'm just going to rub some this in there to get rid of that little white dot I didn't like. Okay. Do all that stuff. Come to the website, www.dungeonswag.com, and buy one of our beautiful, flexible, sturdy, gorgeous, high detail miniature sets. Every month we send a box out of mystery minis to bolster your collection, whether it be orcs or hobgoblins or gnolls or whatever. And every month we send you that box, and it's a great deal, high quality, beautiful miniatures, hand selected by, well, us. So check that out so much. I'd like to thank Asco for the hard work he puts in on the site and getting the products out. And I'd like to thank all of you that subscribe to the channel and to the miniature service. Thanks for watching. Check us out on Discord. There's a link in the description. We'll see you next time.